Good morning. Welcome to Member Focus Monday. I'm Christina Schaefer, Director of Social Media for HAR, and I'm joined this morning by HAR's Director of Professional Development, Rita Blevins. Welcome, Rita.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for joining us this morning. We just watched the tail end of a promotional video that was put out, and we're going to talk about some of those amazing new opportunities for realtors this morning that your team has implemented over the last year, especially. But before we get into all of that, for anyone who's tuning in that doesn't know who you are yet, if you'll just tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Sure. Well, thank you for having me this morning. My name is Rita Klein Blevins. I am the Director of Professional Development for HAR, and I'm also a liaison for several different divisions with HAR. Those include risk management, management central, property management, and also leadership development through the Texas Realtors Leadership Program.
Wonderful. There's been so many great leaders through our association that have gone through that program, and it's definitely a highly sought after program, not just in Houston but in the state. So congratulations on that amazing program. The professional development department at HAR has been really revolutionized over the last year. Can you tell us about some of the changes that have taken place?
Yeah, well, it's been almost a year since we completely just flipped a switch, right? We went from 100, well, I'd say about 90% live in person in the classroom to 100% virtual. We got the call, I think it was like March 12th of last year, just say we've got to do something. We're going to need to go home and cancel classes and stop doing what we're doing right on, traditional way. And I was like, okay, well, give me a few hours. Let's see what we can do. So we worked with the state and with the Real Estate Commission and went 100% virtual within about 72 hours. We moved the entire spring class online, and we were able to offer members the ability to earn credit and get information, kind of without missing a beat. And we were able to hold last year alone over 1,000 different types of classes, webinars, trainings, events. We had more than 60,000 people participate in those, which was, phenomenal. And then just with the new format, we were able to do a lot more than we would have been able to do before. We increased the number of weekend classes. We are able to now do evening classes because we don't have the limitation of having to be in a building and having to deal with security and safety and all of those things. We've created a lot of new things such as virtual labs, and I'll kind of get to those in a little bit. But yeah, just really just been able to change the way everything looks to hopefully benefit the members.
Absolutely. It was almost a blessing in disguise because there was so much innovation that took place in a short amount of time for your department, and it's really benefited the members, as you said. Also, I wanted to congratulate you and your department. Recently, it was announced that you won the Texas Realtors Innovative Education Program of the Year for the COVID-19 Virtual Event Series. Congratulations.
Yeah, Thank you. Thank you very much. And you deserve some kudos to that too, because you were a huge part of participating and moderating all those webinars and dealing with all different types of personalities. We were able to host just when everyone was kind of forced to stay home, we were able to offer everybody a great deal of information, everything from legal issues to industry related forecasting and just really trying to provide them with information when they were captive in their homes and able to get some great insight from industry leaders all across the country. So it was great.
Absolutely. It was a great opportunity to just take advantage of the time you had and learn something new. So I want to get into some topics with you this morning. We have so many members at HAR that have just joined really in the last year or so, newer agents especially, or maybe agents that are just taking real estate more seriously. Maybe they've moved from part-time to full-time. How important do you think it is for realtors to have a niche?
I think it's extremely important to have a niche, and maybe it's not necessarily a niche, but just something that an area they specialize in, an area they focus in, because the more you focus on one area, the better you can become at it, right? You can become an expert in that area. It increases your value proposition, and anytime you can share what your value you bring to the table, the better asset you'll be to that client. You can create a better relationship, and so it's just really, really important to focus on something that you where you can really create a specialization, where you can know everything inside and out about it. It's not to say that you won't go outside of that area to do business in different sectors, but to really be the point person for that and be able to express that, whether it is, representing buyers, representing sellers as a whole, or whether it's really, kind of looking into that luxury market, or looking into people specialize in land now. And, now we know that people are looking for ways to get out and buy land, and just focusing on very specific areas to just really increase your value.
Absolutely. And I think it's important for people to think about that as they sign up for classes. If you're going to sign up for a class, maybe sign up for something that will provide value and let you grow in a specific area or with a specific type of property or something like that. So that's great. We get this question a lot, realtors that hear about coaching and coaching systems. Do you recommend for agents to seek some sort of outside perspective or hire a coach?
I absolutely 100% recommend that everybody gets a coach. It can be, it doesn't have to be an expensive person or a company. It just needs to be somebody that can look at things from a different perspective and really provide you with accountability, and give you some insight into maybe helping you look at what direction you need to take your business. You're in the business. These people are you're working, you're trying to, do the daily grind. These coaches are able to kind of help you step back and look at what you need to do to create your business plan and treat your business like a business, right? And so everybody has a coach that's successful if you really think about it. I mean, the greatest athletes in the world have a coach. If you look at and you talk to business people from all over the world in different industries, they all have a coach. Maybe it's not a specific coaching system. It might be a mastermind series or a mentorship program, but I 100% suggest that you seek out somebody to help hold you accountable and provide you with direction.
So what would you recommend to someone who is shopping for some sort of coaching system?
Well, I would say find somebody that shares your core values, that you feel comfortable with, that you want, that you can really sit down and look at things together and say, yes, this is the direction. You don't want to have conflict. It's not supposed to be somebody that maybe they'll make you feel uncomfortable because they're getting you out of your comfort zone, but really just somebody that shares the same values and the direction. It's the same thing with if you were meeting with a financial planner, and you wouldn't want to sit down and somebody has completely different values or different insight into what your future looks like to have them as your planner. So it's the same thing with a coach.
That makes sense. So let's talk a little bit about, again, getting back to some of the newer agents here, or maybe somebody's transitioning. Some brokerages have mentorship programs, which might be valuable to someone, instead of hiring a coach. Or, they might have training programs for new agents. But what do you recommend to a newer agent that may be working with a brokerage that doesn't provide something like that?
Sure. Well, we really try to help those agents and those brokerages to provide, we being HAR, provide learning opportunities for those maybe newer agents that are trying to transition from part-time to full-time, by providing them with, different areas of specialization and areas of information. One class that we do offer primarily for new agents. I've had brokers audit it and they say, gosh, I enjoyed taking it because I learned something new. I kind of forgot about these things, but we offer the HAR Realtor Launch. It is approved for 30 hours of SAE, and it's a 4-day class, and it literally goes from everything from contracts to close, marketing and branding, and it's a fantastic course for new agents that just really need to learn the ins and outs. When they pass their exam and they earn their license and they get sponsored by a broker, they don't have that experience of the transaction and what it's all about, and this gives them insight into that. We also have a lot of other smaller, shorter courses, such as the HAR Contracts Pro series, which takes you through all the ins and outs of a contract, everything from changes that have been made to the contracts through the commission, to negotiable items, things that you need to know when you're dealing with contracts for your clients. The other thing we have is the the certified strategic marketing specialist. And so that's a series of like 3-hour classes. They're all approved for CE, and you can get things like how to handle objections, how to just really just kind of brand yourself in a way to set yourself apart. We have classes on just scripting and prospecting and videos. Everybody wants to do video now. We've got a class on that. So that's all included in that certification. They're 3-hour courses. You can take them whenever you want. They're all online. And again, they're all approved. We also work with Workman Success Systems, which they are a coaching system and a coaching team, but they create a lot of value with their training system. They have a whole training center behind the scenes. They got a great product, and they really focus on specializing in teams, which is something that HAR has really tried to trying to work towards helping those that are wanting to either establish a team or have a team to kind of really bring them to the next level. And I really believe in work smarter, not harder, and not reinventing the wheel. And they have a phenomenal product. And so I'll tell you all about that in just a little bit, about some new things that are coming up, and where you can go to learn about they have a new program for those that are trying to kick off their teams. Maybe they want to start a team, or they've kind of started it but not sure what to do. They've got a great new program that I'll tell you all about in just a few minutes. But really, those courses, I'd say those contracts classes, the marketing specialist classes, and then also Realtor Launch is really going to be your first entry into just kind of getting that overall thing that is really going to help you learn start to finish what you need for that first transaction and moving forward.
That's wonderful. And there's a wide variety of opportunities there. It sounds like something like Realtor Launch, which is a working program. They don't they give you assignments and things like that to get you to get out there and practice for that program?
Yes, we call them learning opportunities, not homework. So we get you to set up, appointments and get out there and really work on your business. And so between the class days, we ask that you work on things to really create business for yourself.
So that's great. Everything from a several-day workshop, if you will, to, a 3-hour class that you can fit in your schedule whenever is convenient. So that's wonderful. Great opportunities there. If you do have questions for Rita or about any of the classes, I know we have some HAR staff that are watching that are providing links in the comments to some of the courses that Rita's mentioning. But if you have questions about any of those courses or professional development or coaching, anything like that, type those into the comments and we'll get to those in just a little bit. Speaking of contracts, what changes to contracts should realtors know about? Also, Realtor Code of Ethics, what changes are occurring or have occurred that realtors should know about?
So as a reminder, everyone should know this by now, but in case you don't, NAR they approved a change to the Code of Ethics. And they extended the requirement to take Code of Ethics trainings from every 2 years to every 3 years. So what this means is that now realtors are required to complete ethics training of not less than 2.5 hours every 3 years. And it no longer complies with the Legal 1 and Legal 2 for your license renewal. So this is for your NAR membership. You must take the Code of Ethics training every 3 years, all agents, new or existing. And so you can go to our site and get them. They are listed as a webinar. I think it says the deadline is December 31st, but it's really just because you can take it at any time that you want. Mm-hmm. We have live classes, virtual live online classes you can take if you want to have an interactive experience rather than a self-paced. And then you can also go to the NAR's website and take it through there. But that is required. Now, the other change that happened in February, and I think the commission probably tapped in on it last week a little bit. Not only have we had a lot of contract changes, but all license holders must now take 3 hours of contracts related courses every renewal period. So it's not like Legal 1 and Legal 2 where they're very structured and you have to take that course. This is a contracts related course. It does have to be one that is approved through the Real Estate Commission. So if you actually go to Our site, you can see in the description if it's been approved. You can also go to the Texas Real Estate Commission's website and look for contracts approved courses, which is, it's kind of nice because, it's forcing you to learn about the changes and the things that are happening with contracts, maybe hone in your skill set a little bit on some areas that you maybe aren't as up to date with. But we have classes from, talking from the leasing contracts all the way to the 1 to 4, and kind of everything in between that are approved through the commission as part of this 3 hours contracts renewal course.
Great, thank you. We did have a question come in from Robert about Farm and Ranch. He was recently searching for a Farm and Ranch training opportunity. Is that something that is available or will be available for members?
We had a few opportunities last year for Farm and Ranch, and we're going to expand those back out into this year. We're actually going to offer a whole series on Farm and Ranch and include it into a land series that we're working on. So we're gonna be laying out that program in just a few months and have a whole series of land as well as Farm and Ranch included with that.
Wonderful. Another question here from Eva: is there a charge for the required 3-hour contract class?
So because it's a very a variety of courses, there is a fee associated with those classes. But we have, I think it's nominal. I think it's $35 for the contracts courses that we offer. You do earn continuing education with those, and like I said, there's a variety, and it's also part of the HER Contracts Pro series that you can take. And if you take all the courses, you earn a certification.
Wonderful. If you have any other questions for Rita, type those in and we'll get to those in a minute. So I kind of wanted to open this up for any of the opportunities that we have coming up. What other educational opportunities are coming up that realtors can take advantage of?
Well, we have a ton of webinars coming up in all different topics and series. And so we started our affordable housing webinar series last month. And our next one will be on March 17th. It's going to be the third Wednesday of every month. And it'll be, this month, March 17th will be Section 8 housing. And so next month in April, third Wednesday, we're going to do one on the getting down the Seth down payment program. And every month we're going to focus on different areas of affordable housing programs, kind of demystifying what affordable housing is, and really wanting you guys all to be aware of what's available to your clients. We're also going to look at, with that specific webinar series, we're going to talk about how do you maybe you've got clients that have debt that maybe they make a good deal of income, but they've got a lot of student debt and things like that. What kind of programs are available to them? Looking at credit repair and really just trying to help clients or realtors understand how to help their clients with that. The other thing we have is our wonderful diversity and inclusion webinar series. That is going to begin in April with Fair Housing Month. We have our first one with Tracy Brown. She's going to talk about cross-cultural communication. We live in the most diverse city in the country. How do you deal with a variety of clientele and work together to create and enhance that relationship? So she's going to be here doing those. We also have our safety series that's going to be kicking off, and March 24th will be that one. And that is going to start with safety and awareness and educating those who are dealing with property management. Because right now we've got a whole lot of issues going on with property management, not just business related, but also safety and liability in this kind of stressful time with people that are dealing with that. Then of course our monthly tools webinars. And every month we're trying to put something out different, but a plethora of information, 12 to 1 o'clock for each of those. And those
Wonderful.
are all free. And
I was about to ask, is there a fee for that? So they're all free. So no reason for people to not take them.
They're not approved for continuing education, but we do kind of spur off of those with some other opportunities that are more classroom-like educational opportunities that are longer and give you more time so they get credit. But yeah, 12 to 1:30 depending on the content. They're available. You just go to the webinar series on the site and you can find those under the different topics. We also have the virtual labs that we started last year on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. You can just go to hr.com/labs, and you can log in and talk to instructors and staff about any questions you have, whether it's MLS related or tools related. And of course, that reminds me, we have tons of MLS classes, whether you're doing the mobile app, whether you're wanting help with your CMA, but we've got all the MLS training. We've got training on all the tools. Those are free. The MLS, I keep freezing. Sorry. I can't tell if I froze or not. So the tools in the MLS classes are always free, and those are always available for continuing education. I would say about 95% of everything we do is approved for continuing education. So if you need your 18 hours, and I see those questions all the time on the Platinum website, those are there, they're available. So really, any kind of educational opportunity, we've always got all their designations available. Those things are up on the site. And it's not really so much about becoming, having that alphabet soup behind your name. Mm-hmm. It's more about those classes and those programs really help you define your expertise and your specialization. So they just give you more. And then whenever people are searching for you, whether they're looking to see that you've been rated for a client experience rating, they also can see, okay, we've got Christina here who's, rated. She's got her 5 stars. She's also got, she also specializes in sellers, representing sellers, or, maybe like gentleman mentioned farm and ranch. She's got a specialization in that. So I'm going to work with Christina before Rita, because Rita might not have that extra little letter behind her name or specialization.
Right.
One of the things I did mention was the rocket fuel class that Viral Workman and Workman Success Systems are offering. That is for a new teams area that we are kind of focusing on, really trying to help develop teams. This is for new teams or people that are trying to get started in a team. It can be individuals, but I think we're going to put the link to that training program in the chat. And they're offering a deal. I guess it's normally $297 a month. It's $197 a month to get started. There's no contract with it, but I did want to, I talked to them ahead of time about being on here, and I said, if you're going to be doing anything special, let's talk about the teams programs. And so they've got that up there for you.
Very good. Thank you. And we can definitely share that in the comments again. There was a question that came in about evening classes. Is there a plan to schedule more evening classes?
We are working towards adding more evening classes. We do have to have staff proctors for those continuing education. So we're just tiptoeing into it. But by the second half of the year, we should have just with the success that we've seen with people registering and participating, we will extend that, offering to a couple of times a week as opposed to maybe just once or twice. I think right now we're doing 2 or 3 times a week, a month in the evening. We're going to change that to probably 1 or 2 times a week. So as long as they're attended and people are participating and the need is there, we'll have it. That's one of the benefits of being virtual. We are able to offer more evening classes and more weekend classes. So we are working on that. So that's
wonderful.
Where we are with that.
A question from Teresa Hughes Hill. She said, years ago, HR offered a conversational Spanish class for real estate terms. Is there a plan to ever bring that back? I know you've added Spanish classes.
We do offer Spanish delivered courses right now for MLS training and for new member orientation. So Teresa, yes, I remember that. And we will definitely be expanding the Spanish delivered classes as the need arises. So the more interest people bring, and that's one of the things I'd like to say is, as our membership, our goal and our objective is to really help you all achieve ongoing success through the learning opportunities that we provide. So if you see something that maybe we're missing or you don't realize is there and you have questions or a need, then reach out to us, because we're going to be here to provide you with what you need. And the more that we can offer, the better we can suit all of our members. And so, Teresa, I would say yes, if we can get that pulled together. Maybe Christina'd like to teach that because she speaks Spanish.
I maybe can. So we already shared the link in the comments. Somebody was asking where to register for classes. So it's hr.com/education, and the course calendar is there as well. A lot of different ways to search on there, and we can actually show you guys what it looks like there. You can search by keyword. You can click the course calendar. So a lot of different opportunities for searching on there. There was a question, there's actually two questions about in person. One was that even after things go back to normal, will you continue to offer online live sessions for our members?
I would say that the majority of our courses are going to continue to be in a virtual live online format. And we will at some point, when it's safe and the reward outweighs the risk, offer some very intentional in-person training. The fact that everybody kind of was forced to learn the technology of being online helped to kind of put us in this position where we can offer larger classes, at times that are convenient to more people. You don't have to get out in the traffic. You don't have to deal with the weather. We had an event back in December where we had 160 people register, and it was a half-day program, and we've held the similar programs to that before. We had 160 people register, 160 people show up, and we had maybe 15 people that dropped off throughout the day. If the weather was horrible that day, and it's kind of a midday program. And it was kind of cold outside. So I was thinking, okay, if you first of all, if you had something with business that you were running late, you may not show up. If the weather's bad, it makes you late. There was just all these limitations that we had that now we don't have with this format. And I know that some people really just love rubbing shoulders and networking face to face. So we are looking at technologies that were in the online virtual format to create a more intimate networking opportunity. But for now, this is really going to provide everybody with access to things that maybe they didn't have access to before.
And I know that your instructors do an amazing job because somebody said, well, when can I attend a live class? These online classes are live. You can ask questions and get your questions answered. And I know some of the instructors, depending on the class, even do breakout rooms, and there's opportunities to network virtually and things like that. So I know they've done an amazing job with trying to take that in-person experience and turn it into a virtual format.
Yeah, we've done a lot of train the trainers. We're continuously looking at ways to create engagement. Like I said, we're looking at different technologies outside of Zoom to really incorporate more of an intimate experience. Our instructors do a phenomenal job, and it has been a challenge for them too. I mean, they have to stay not only engaging in the virtual world, but they also have to stay compliant. And so, especially for the things that are offering designations and continuing education credit, we have to really make sure that the members are participating, and the instructors we have proctors, and the proctors are doing a phenomenal job. But the instructors have a big job, ahead of them dealing with this. So we constantly do training and update and just trying to look at new technologies.
Wonderful. Nora asked about commercial classes. What do you have in the way of commercial?
We actually have a great deal of commercial classes now. We've got a fantastic new designation program that the Texas Realtors has created, the Texas Commercial Specialist class, and it's called TACS. There's 3 parts. They're each 4 days, and they are approved. They're kind of structured like the GRI for those that are familiar with GRI, where you earn 30 hours of SAE, and those are really everything from introduction all the way to specialization with commercial. They've done a phenomenal job with that. We offer those monthly. They are numbered 1, 2, and 3 because they want you to take them in order. So we try to offer it frequently enough that you can get in and take it and earn it in a quarter. We also have a lot of individualized classes. We have the contracts classes for commercial. Mishka Gilroy really teaches a lot of those courses for me, along with Ginger Unger. She teaches those for us. And if you go and look at the EDU site, and you go to commercial courses, they've got a whole list of classes there for you. So we've really expanded since, I'd say, last fall, the commercial opportunity. And I'm excited, and people have really given a lot of feedback about that.
Wonderful. Well, Rita, thank you so much. You've shared a lot this morning. Is there anything else that you want our members to know?
Um, I just want to remind everybody that we offer classes all the time. I always see those questions online about, what classes, where they can take classes. We offer everything from compliance to designations to kind of some fun, interesting, snippets that you can get. So just go to the EDU site, check it out. Again, if there's something that you see that you think we're missing, or that you need, please let me know and I'll be happy to get back with you about
And
it.
how can they reach you?
They can email me, rita@har.com, or you can call me. My extension's 263, and I'm always available. So just reach out, and I'm happy to help you.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for that. And thank you again for your time this morning.
Thank you.
That's it for this Member Focus Monday. We'll see you back next Monday at 9 a.m. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.